Hello, Kim here of Willow Creek Wellness, and this is the flower, pandiculation to relieve neck, shoulder, back tension. Make sure you have practiced the arch and release and the flatten and release movement, and the flower builds on to that. So that is a foundational movement to practice first before exploring the flower. So it's essentially the arch and flatten with adding the arms and the legs into the movement. So you're just going to get yourself settled on the floor and feet at a comfortable distance apart, maybe about heels in line with your sit bones or a little bit further wider away. And the arch, just think of the pelvis spilling, so the pubic bone is going to spill between the legs. So it's a little bit of a press down with the tailbone into the surface you're on. And what's going to happen is the back will arch. So we're contracting the back muscles. The shoulder blades are sinking into the floor. And the chin is being drawn down to the chest. Don't force it to go, just invite it. So there's the arch. So we're contracting the muscles down the back line of the body, and then we're slowly uncontracting. So we're releasing them, letting them go, and lengthening them. And then the flatten is the pelvis is coming the other way. So it's like the tailbone is coming between the legs. So it tucks. As soon as it tucks, the back flattens and the abdominal muscles turn on. And then we invite the shoulders to move toward one another. So up towards the ceiling and toward one another. And the chin goes back. So we're pendiculating muscles on the front line of the body. So that's your arch and release and flatten and relief. So the flower, and it's very much just like a flower bud opening and a flower closing. So we're coming into the flatten, so sinking the back, pelvis tucks, ribs bow down, chest, everything gets pulled forward, lowers the shoulders along. We're going to allow the arms to roll. So think of the shoulder blade moving and allowing the legs to hug in towards one another. And then slowly release on out. And then we'll take it the other way. So it's like the flower opening. So we're coming into that arch again. Shoulder blades sink into the surface. The legs open up, just to a point that makes sense for you. And the chin comes down. Slowly start to release out of that. So a couple points to mention. The shoulder, you might think of the shoulder as here, but think of the shoulder starting at the collarbone and the shoulder blade, because that is, those pieces are all a part of the shoulder girdle. So think of when you are sinking down in the flatten and the shoulder's moving, it moves from the center here. The collarbone moves, that allows this to move, and the shoulder blade moves. And then the arm just rolls in. And then when you release, you soften from the center of that clavicle, your collarbone. Everything just lets go. Okay? So let's put this together. Oh, and another thing I want to mention is the legs, is when they're tipping out, you're letting the foot roll. So it's rolling on the outer edge, right? You're not keeping the foot glued and trying to move the leg, because that will be restricting. And you're only tipping the leg out as far as that feels comfortable in your hip socket. Okay, so let's put it together. So flower closing up. Take a breath in. Exhale, back sinks. Everything gets pulled down towards the center. Arms roll in. Knees hug in. Notice what's all contracted in the front of the body and in between the legs, and slowly soften from your center. Your belly, your ribs, your chest, your entire torso starts to melt like butter in a pan, as does the shoulders and the legs. The flower opening up. So inhale and arch, sinking the tailbone down, the shoulder blades down. You can almost let the shoulder or the arm bones roll the opposite way, legs part. So we're open and relaxed at the front of the body, while the back of the body is doing the job of contracting. Focus on that, what's contracting, and then slowly let it go. And again. And you want to come back to a place of rest in between. So we were tightening the front, contracting the front, and then letting it go. So you want to make sure you're completely let everything's let go as much as you can before you move into the arch. So try to refrain from going in and then going right out. This isn't an exercise, okay? This is a pandiculation. So another piece that I wanted to add to this is we're pandiculating the neck muscles as well. So when you're tilting the head back, you're contracting the muscles at the back and lengthening at the front. Then you're letting this go. Right? And then when you're going the other way, you're contracting muscles at the front, lengthening at the back, and then letting it go. And it's same for the rest of the body, right? So when one side is contracting, the opposite side ought to relax. But sometimes that isn't always the case. So just really pay attention to that. And then when you're switching over, so the back is now the front is now contracting, the back is relaxing and lengthening. So just always consider that when you're moving through this, the side that's contracting is the opposite side relaxing. So good little investigation to explore. Give that a go and let me know how it goes.